Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our cost reduction quick tip video series, where in just a couple minutes, we give you actionable tips that you can immediately implement to reduce your organization's operational expenses and add that profitability back to your bottom line. Today, I've invited Adam Flommer to join us. Adam heads up our merchant account audit team. And over the last decade, Adam and his team have literally saved our clients millions upon millions of dollars. In addition to being a published author, Adam is widely regarded as the industry's foremost expert in the merchant payment field. So needless to say, we are very, very excited to have Adam as part of our team working for the benefit of our client. So with that being said, Adam, we're anxious to see what you have to share today.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks, Joe. Joe, I thought that today we would talk about a deceptive processor practice that you need to be on the lookout for. This particular margin increase is almost never detected by merchants. It's costly, probably the most costly of all the margin increases, and it is widespread. It's on the increase. It's a safe bet that most of the viewers watching this right now, CFOs, controllers, business owners, are on the receiving end of this. Not all, but some. And it could be costing their business thousands, if not tens of thousands each year. So I thought that today we would talk about it, show you what it is, how to spot it, and my hope is to try to do it in the next 5 minutes.
Okay, sounds good, Adam.
Okay, so first thing is there's not an industry-specific name for this particular practice. I call it the interchange pass-through surcharge. I've heard it referred to as interchange plus plus, but it's a situation where a merchant gets interchange pass-through pricing, which is indeed the best type of pricing arrangement for a merchant, bar none. However, after the merchant and the processor have agreed upon a reasonable margin, somewhere along the lines, later on in the relationship, the processor adds a surcharge, buries the surcharge within the interchange itself. And like I said, it's very difficult to spot. So I'm going to share with you some statements and show you what it looks like before and after. So bear with me one sec here.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a situation where a credit card processor is giving this particular merchant interchange pass-through and 13 basis points. You'll see the actual interchange pass through here. You'll see the name of the interchange category, the per item fee, the published per item fee, and the published rate. And if you were to divide the fee amount by the amount processed, it would come out to the per item fee and the published rate. Everything looks good. This is exactly what an interchange pass-through statement should look like. But later on, this very same merchant gets a statement. Looks like interchange pass-through, 13 basis points. Most merchants would look at this and say, oh, everything looks good. But when you get down into the interchange section, you'll notice that the published interchange rate and per item fee is absent. And so you have to do a hand calculation to determine what's actually being charged. So for example, MasterCard data rate 3 large market, they were charged $880 and some change. You divide that by 34,000 and you get 2.53. Well, I know that the published interchange on this is 1.9. So it looks to me like this processor has added 63 basis points of margin that unless you have the published interchange right in front of you and a hand calculator and you're going through here line by line, you're never going to notice. So I looked down here and I just compared each of these categories and I see, yes, indeed, this processor has indeed added about 63 basis points of margin. So I'm going to show you what the two statements look like together here. Hopefully this is big enough. So this is before the increase. Again, you'll see MasterCard data rate 3 large market 1.9. Whole thing comes into 1.91 all in. Well, you see that very same category, 2.53. You look on down, next category, MasterCard Business Level 2, data rate 1. We have 2.82% all in. That very same interchange category, now it's 3.44. And again, the telltale sign is that there is no published rate and per item fee. So this is something to be on the lookout for, and it is happening a lot more often than people may realize. So back to you, Joe.
Wow, I can really see how that would be very challenging to find. How often should a merchant review their statements, Adam?
Well, you know, Joe, we look at it every month without fail,
Okay.
because you never know when a processor is going to try to sneak something by the goalie, as they say. But most merchants don't have the time to audit these on a line by line basis. So I would say if they're going to try to do this on their own, they should be doing it at least quarterly.
Okay.
The best time to do it would be in when they get their April statement and their October statement. Those are 2 months in which the card brands institute various changes to their interchange rates, and processors will often use those times to add increases, thinking that merchants are going to just assume that those increases were associated with the card brand increases, and they're not just arbitrary increases that have been added to their pricing.
Gotcha. Adam, is there more than one processor doing this, or is it across the board, or what's the scope of it?
Yeah, good question. So not every processor does this, but it's certainly not limited to one. There are a handful of processors that are doing this, but the thing to know is the handful of these processors who are doing it, they represent a very large block, a huge amount of merchants out there. So it doesn't take, it's not industry wide, but there are hundreds of thousands of merchants that are likely affected by this.
Awesome. Adam, that was some great information. I think that's something that that any company can take that information, look at it, and be super helpful. So good stuff today. Thank you. And everybody, if you get a chance to review your statements and you're finding it's more than you can bite off, we do it all day, every day. Happy to help. Don't hesitate to call the questions. Until next time, thank you, and look forward to tuning in.
Thanks, Joe.